Hello guys, welcome back. It's your girl Denisha, the brave brown girl. I'm sitting out here at the reservoir. This is our nice little lake area. I love coming out here. It's so peaceful, it's quiet, it's, just being by the water is just so relaxing. And I used to come out here and just walk around, and I would take pictures of the geese, because there used to be like this particular geese that was over by the dock area, and I would just take pictures of them back in my photography days. And I would come out here and do my yoga and do my meditation, and it was just so very relaxing and just a nice centering place to be. And so I decided to come out here again today after my skating session, and I was just sitting in the car and just reflecting and on my life and some of the things that's happening right now. And I thought about it and I was like, you know what, I am actually living my best life right now. From the outside looking in, it's just kind of like, oh, maybe not, because you don't have a job and you barely have any income. So how could you possibly be living your best life, right? Well, by the grace of God. That's my answer. By the grace of God. And just the little things. I think when I get really wrapped up in my mind and I'm like, oh my gosh, I don't have this, I don't have that, and I start comparing myself to other people, and I fail to realize the things that I do have going on for me and the things that are happening in my life. And one of the things that are happening in my life is peace. I have a peace of mind, and I get to do everything that I love to do. And you would think that, because someone doesn't have a job, that they would just be like sitting around moping and just sitting in front of the TV and, not doing anything with their life. And granted, some days it's like that. I'm not gonna lie. I will sit in front of the TV and watch some shows or binge watch YouTube, and just to separate from the stress that I feel. But those days are very far few in between. I actually do a lot of nature walks. I do a lot of reading. I do a lot of writing. I paint. I've started this channel. And so it's all things that I love to do. And just sharing a piece of me now with the world and sharing my story and just showing you that, even though it may seem like on the outside that your world is crumbling down and that things are not working out, but when you take a look at the smaller things in life and you look at the positives, those things definitely outweigh the cons. And I think it's just like really easy for us as people to get wrapped up into the societal norms of what we're supposed to be doing. Now, granted, you do have to make a living for yourself. You do have to, have your basic necessities covered. And I will say I'm fortunate enough to have those things met at this time. I'm currently staying with my dad, and my dad understands me, and he's a very patient man, and for that I'm so thankful. And it's just like right now it's me finding my footing, it's finding my way. And because the way that I chose prior to was not my way, it was not for me, and I just kept trying to fit in with everybody else and do what everybody else is doing. And so of course I'm only going to get as far as everybody else, and I'm like, well, what can I do differently? And it's kind of like this path has led me here, but there's a lot of things that I've learned about myself, and I say that my faith has grown. it's definitely has been challenging in that aspect, because there's sometimes I feel like, God, where are you? God, do you hear me? God, do you see what I'm going through? And when I step back and I look at the simple things, I'm like, okay, God is already blessing me. Like, God is already here. Like, God is providing for me, like, God has never left. And it's just because he's not giving me the thing that I want right now does not mean that it's necessarily him telling me no. He's just saying, not right now, because I'm only going to give you what you can handle right now. And when I really look at my situation and I know who I am, I'm like, okay, God, you're right, because some of those things that I think would make life a lot easier right now wouldn't necessarily do that. So I have to humble myself in a lot of ways, and also just being thankful for what I have at the moment, and not going out to get like excess, because when I had a whole lot of money, I would just go shopping, go get this, go get that, and then I would just find myself with an overabundance of everything. And it's just like, why do I have so much stuff? Like, why do I have so much clutter? And it's like, slowly I've gotten rid of a lot of stuff, and so it's forced me to just accept the things that I do have and just to make things work. And I think that is a very, very powerful thing that we can learn in this lifetime, is to work with what we got. So yeah, that is so awesome. And I listened to Sarah Jakes Roberts this morning, and she was actually speaking on that subject. Well, it was like an impact theory, and she was just like, there was a point in time in her life where things were not great, and it seemed like it was a mess. And so it's just kind of like, if you have a whole bunch of ingredients and none of them go together, and it's just a big blob, and you're like, well, what can I do with this mess? How can I make this into something? How can I make this better? And I think that was like a very eye-opening thing for me, is how can I make this better? So that's exactly what I'm moving into, is how can I make this better? When we come to the conclusion of what can we do with the mess that we have made in our lives, how can we turn that into something positive? How can we bounce back from that? Let me try this way. Okay, maybe this way is actually pretty cool. Yeah, I probably should have turned this way from the jump. But yeah, so that's my message for today. I don't really know if that was a message, but that was definitely something that I wanted to speak about, something that was on my heart to say. And so I hope that sits with someone and helps bring you out of a situation or give you a different perspective. And so until next time, I hope you all have a lovely day, and peace. Be blessed.